Let's start the podcast.
I could put you in the brig for what you've done, but I won't do it.
What the hell's going on out here?
You
Recording
better, you
in
better, you
progress.
bet.
Woo! That was
ooh,
Pete
ooh.
Townsend and The Who, the same time that his solo album came out. And the big hit from his solo album was, Al, you have 5 seconds.
That was called Empty Glass, the album, and the song was, the big hit was, Tommy, can you hear me? I don't remember the big hit. What was the big hit from Empty Glass?
That was The Who. I don't know. I was hoping you'd remind me.
He had the Empty Glass album in 1980.
Let mama open the door. Woo!
There you
All
go.
right,
Same
that's
year
it.
that
We'll
John
cut all
Lennon
this.
was assassinated.
Well, why are you bringing us down? We're trying to do a comedy podcast. You fuck. What are you doing? What are you doing? It's like when I'm on
it's a
stage and
warm-up.
go, "Do you want to have a dog?" And some idiot goes, "I have a dog. He died."
It's dead.
Like, what, we're doing.
Yeah.
We're doing comedy here.
You're right, Al.
Yeah.
You're right. You're
Trying.
a little under the weather. Let's talk about it. It's you're in the Caribbean, and
Who are we? Give us an intro, Al.
this is the Two Al's One Pod podcast. We're the spinoff from the web series The Two Dicks.
We're sorry.
You
Your
can see
call
it all on
cannot be
YouTube.
completed as dialed.
And if you'd like to be a member of our Patreon group, only $5 a month, you get to see these videos live and dead, and other videos, backstage, little comedy sketches and whatnot. And you get some swag as well. You get coffee mugs and coasters, and there's T-shirts and everything, depending on what tier, of course. But for the basic, you get a mug and a coaster. What's going on, Al? It looks like you're on a cruise ship. I think you're on the Icon of the Seas, Royal Caribbean's premier flagship at this juncture. And it's a little wider. It's a little longer than the ship that I'm on right now.
Okay, now.
I'm on the
Yes.
the Allure. Is this the second of the Oasis class, the Allure?
I believe it was Oasis, Allure. Yeah. So you're on the second sister of Oasis. And yeah, that's the last one with the comedy club in the original room.
It's my favorite now. I couldn't
Yeah.
believe when they got rid of it on the Oasis itself, the original one, and made it into a diamond lounge for the
Ooh.
pinnacle people,
Yes.
diamond class people.
Yes.
But that club is magical. I'm telling you right now. It's so weird. It's across the hall. It's 40 feet across the hall, and night and day with the audiences. Night and day.
Yeah. It's like this one on Icon is, I think, even better because
Wow.
it's really made as a comedy club. You don't have a door. They're not coming in and out ever, and it's just a low ceiling. It holds about 180 and
Wow.
perfect sight lines. But yeah, really, really nice. And both ships. I mean, these are good ships if you're a comedian doing comedy. These are good ships to be working on. Real comedy club setting, no family show. I don't think you did a family show, right? No. Do you do a family?
No, I'm doing the 3-day and then 4-day in 1 week. So
Okay.
we have a lot of drinkers, a lot of partying people. There's already security sitting outside of one of the cabins. We don't know.
Yeah, those are a bit boozy. Yeah,
it's so funny. Some people bring their children because they're like, "Oh, 3 days," and I can understand why they go, "Oh, 3 days, we can handle the kids 3 days. A week would be too long." And then they bring them on. It's like, holy.
Yeah. And a week. I mean, a week can be long, but a 3-day is really quick. I don't think people understand. Day one, that's a day.
72
you're getting
hours.
on board.
Yeah.
You get on board, you unpack, and now you have 2 days.
Yeah.
And barely 2 days because you're going to pack on the third day. So you really have a day.
It's a 48-hour cruise.
Yeah.
And people make the best of it. They really do. They get their money's worth. They do all the
They're puking all over the ship. They're
eating. They're
shitting.
animals, but they are.
Yeah.
They're cramming it all in, and there's an energy that has been playing in our favor in the comedy club, to be honest with you. But but you can also get the drunk. We had already 3 bachelorette parties. And 1 bachelor party, and I will say all but one were very well behaved.
Bachelor party, really?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, well, we were shitting on
what
them.
Nerds are taking a 3-day cruise as a bachelor party?
Yeah. Dan Greeter said, "Oh, really? Do you want to see 2 middle-aged white guys on stage? You don't want to go to a strip club?" He was like all over them about being, wussies.
Yeah, yeah. Dan Greeter, does he still do? One of my favorite jokes was he used to do. I met him 100 years ago in a comedy club somewhere, and the joke stuck in my head where he and his wife go running. They run marathons together, and uh, and he's like, he thought it'd something bring us close, and then she takes off running, and he's like, "Hey, we're running together." She goes, "It's a race, you pussy." Yeah, that thing
He hasn't
stuck.
done that
I don't
one
know
yet,
why it
but
stuck in
we
my
have the
head.
theater shows tonight, so maybe I'll see that. One of
Oh,
my
so
favorite
tonight's
bits,
the end of your
yeah,
3 day, then you do a 4 day, and then you're done. Gotcha.
yeah. One of my favorite bits he does, he goes, my wife, she she goes, "Hey, did you drink that juice that was in the fridge?" And he goes, "Yeah, I had it." He goes, "Oh, that was mine." I go, "What do you mean it was yours?" She goes, "I bought that juice for me." She's like, "What are we, college roommates?" He goes,
Yeah.
you're gonna start putting your name on it?" She's or something like that. She said, "Oh, I guess I'll just put my name on it next time." He goes, "Yeah, put your name on it." He goes, "And I'll put my name on stuff that I own and I bought, like the house,
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
the
I'm surprised
car."
he's still married. He had a lot of marriage
And he
jokes
goes, and he
25
goes, "Yeah."
years ago.
He goes, and he go, "Yeah." So, yeah, that's what I said out loud in the
Oh,
car on my way to the
right.
grocery store by myself to get juice.
Oh, yeah.
So he turns it into him being a pussy. He can't stand
Yep.
up to his wife. But it's so
On
funny
the
the switch.
inside.
Yeah, on the switch in that
Yeah,
regard.
he's a good comic. He's
Yeah,
been around.
solid,
He's been around the block for
solid
a
guy.
while, but very good. I think I got, I had Kelly was on the cruise with me last week. Kelly, my lovely girlfriend,
Well,
cruised with me.
the woman Kelly. I thought you meant the dude.
No, Kelly, the girl, a friend, and we were out and out and about everywhere. So I think that's how I got sick. I was literally out doing cruise things, and while you're out doing cruise things, everybody's like, "Hey, comedian, comedy, blah blah blah," handshake, handshake, and then day 7 of her cruise, I'm like, I don't feel good,
Dude,
and then it just went downhill.
I know I don't like the fist pump with strangers, but I do it. I do the fist pump, no interlocking of the hands. And then I'm pretty diligent about washing my hands before I touch my face because it's the eye. It's that
Is it
fucking
the eye,
it's the eye. It goes right.
the
It goes
third
into your
eye?
bloodstream. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I
third
don't,
eye.
I'm one of those people. I just kind of battle through it. I'm like, I'm not gonna get sick, and then I got sick, but now I'm like, I'm gonna keep going. And then, of course, we were in Cozumel last week, and her cousin lives there. So beautiful home. She picked us up at 9 a.m., took us to her place. Then we went out for the day drinking in places on the other side of the island.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Cozumel is actually very
Yeah.
beautiful.
You get away from the
When you
tourist
get away
area.
from the tourists. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we were at the beach places, so I had brought flip flops, so I left my sneakers in her car. And then, of course, we leave at 5 o'clock. We're all fucking hammered, and I walk off in her car with my flip flops, sneakers in the car. So
Yeah,
now
but
I'm without
you can wear Kelly's
sneakers.
because you guys have the same size shoe, right?
Now I'm without sneakers for the. Now I'm without sneakers for the week.
You just went right over that. You just
And yeah, of course. And yesterday I was in Miami. I went to Little Havana because Kelly left, and I went to Little Havana, and I didn't have sneakers, so I'm in flip. I haven't walked in flip flops in 100 years. My ass muscles. I feel like I'm literally, and this will be your opening for an ass fucking joke, but my buttocks, my gluteus maximus, is fucking killing me because I'm walking on my a heel, I guess. You know what I mean? With a flip flop, and it's going right up my leg into my ass, and I'm in pain, dude. I'm in pain today. So I have a cold, and I have a gluteus maximus issue from
okay.
flip
All
flops.
right. First of all, let's just be honest. You have COVID.
Yeah.
That's number one.
Yes.
Number two is you passed out on your medication that you're taking because you bought it in Mexico, and your cabin attendant came in and fucked you in the ass. Let's be honest.
Well, that's a nice way to put it. Yeah, because I was trying to keep it clean. We want to make a few bucks here and not turn off everybody. So yeah, all right, big deal. Whatever, it hurts. That's all I'm saying. It
All
hurts.
right. I don't know. I've never been to prison. I don't know what it's like.
Well, you should go. Look at this, and I got 2 bottles of wine that I can't drink because I'm sick.
Well,
Look
don't
at
give
that,
them
man.
away. Take them home.
2 bottles, buddy. I'm taking them home. I'm not giving them away. Kidding me?
Are you? Who gave
These
you
were
the wine?
gifts. These were gifts.
From
Gifts.
who?
Gifts.
From your.
People like me. People like me,
From
man.
Kelly's
What can I
family?
say? No, from
Cruise?
someone on cruise people on the ship.
Passengers? Or
No, people who someone who
brass?
works here.
Brass.
Brass.
Nick
Brass
Ware. Nick
monkey.
Ware?
He doesn't work on the ship.
Well,
I said someone who works on the ship.
Oh,
But he
okay.
gave me a bottle, and then Kelly and I didn't drink it because she likes the Riesling. She's not a red wine drinker. But did find out something new about my lovely girlfriend last week while cruising. Got to
Okay,
find out
because
some
we
new
found out
information.
she's a vegetarian, and then we found out that she's a former
Does
Taliban.
not have a penis. What?
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 Were you going
You
Taliban?
went,
I thought
you went, yeah, former Taliban.
I figured you were going penis
No.
there. Okay.
Wow,
No.
not with Kelly.
Yeah, okay. So, but you have
I
her in the
respect her.
Taliban. She was in the Taliban, though. Oh, I respect her. She fought for the Taliban. No, she has a crippling gambling addiction.
No.
Yes.
Crippling?
Yes. Crippling. The
How
casino.
many days in the casino out of the week?
7.
How many
7
times a
days.
day?
Well, if a C day, 2 or 3.
And
port day, 1 or 2.
And when's the last time she's gone to a casino?
Well, that's the good part. When she's home, she doesn't go because we have one 20 minutes away, half
Wow.
hour away. But on the ship, that I should say, if she's on a ship in vacation mode, she's crippling addiction.
So
There's a
So it's casino, food.
Yeah,
Al.
food's on it. Yeah, food's not on the list.
No, okay.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. Casino, Riesling, Al. That's the order.
Yeah, and then the ship didn't have a lot of Riesling. They're not a big Riesling ship, so she was going. Started with Bacardi and Coke, but then in Cozumel, I got a mojito, and she really enjoyed the mojito. So then, the end of the week, the last few days, it was mojito time. But we were playing this slot machine. It's called Stinkin' Rich.
Slot!
Everybody's familiar.
Slot!
Stinkin'.
Sorry, that was
Stinkin'
an
Rich.
author.
Slot!
And it has a animated squirrel on the screen. Not a squirrel, I'm sorry, a skunk on the screen.
Mm.
And he just stands there, and he's got a garbage can with smells coming out of it because he's skunky and gross. And so you hit the button, and then he moves, and he starts dumping out his garbage can. And sometimes it's bones and shit, but other times it's coins, and then it starts to add up. It's pretty exciting. It's fun, but it's a slot machine, so you can go from 100 to 0 with nothing, or you could hit and start hitting, and then it becomes kind of fun and a bit addictive. I'll be honest. I was in it. I was into it.
Okay, so now you're crippling.
Yeah, well, I'm not crippled. I'm
okay. So let me ask you a question.
I won't be in there.
Kelly
week.
Went on a free cruise. It's a free cruise. She's your guest.
It wasn't free.
Well,
far from free.
So you did a cruise for free.
Drink package, Wi-Fi, crippling addiction in the casino. It wasn't free.
So she didn't win. She didn't break even or win big. She had
no,
entertainment.
It wasn't free. She was entertained. Yes.
Was it under $1,000? Was it under $1,000?
No. It was over.
It was okay. It was under two. Yeah. Was it under $2,000?
Yeah. Who knows? Let's not count pennies here. Let's just say I have to stay out on the ship for a while.
Well, I'm saying it's a $3,000 to $5,000 cruise, so you got to factor that in.
This room, if I had paid for this room for 2, it would have been over $8,000 just for the room.
Oh well, then
for
you
2.
Go.
So yeah, no, it's all fine. I'm kidding around. I don't give a shit. I had fun in there doing it. I don't play slots generally, but I got addicted too. Slots. I got into it, and yeah, it was fun. And then we saw the Wizard of Oz. We saw the Aqua show. We did all these fucking things,
dude.
But that's how I got sick.
Who are you? Riesling, the Wizard of Oz.
I know.
Dude, what happened to El Romas?
Good.
Where's that
show.
sailor? Where's
a hell of a show.
Where's that admiral from the Navy? Where is he?
Yeah, you know your nautical terms well. That was a hell of a show. The Wizard of Oz, man. They did it. It's from they guys from the West End in London, and they brought them over. It's not.
Was it over an hour?
90 minutes. Yeah.
Oh wow.
But
Okay.
it's not singers and dancers from the
No,
cast
no,
or whatever.
it's
They're good,
equity.
but
They're
these are
usually
real actors.
equity.
Yeah,
Yeah. On the
they're
Well, on this ship
pros,
they had
real pros.
they still have pros on this one,
Yeah,
but it's not the equity actors, the Broadway actors.
right.
In the beginning on these big ships, it was the same thing. They bring in That's an expensive program.
Yeah, but it's a hell of a show, man. They really,
Wow.
they because you wonder how they're going to do it. But they have her on the bed flying around and over the audience. They have the witch on a bike flying over the
Holy
audience,
shit.
and then they got a million screens doing tornadoes, and the whole thing starts 20 minutes in black and white, and then Emerald City we're in full
Really?
color,
Oh my
and
God.
yeah,
Because Nick Ware
impressive.
was showing little clips of stuff of the productions over the last year or so. So I
Yeah.
always on his Twitter account, I always check it out. He's like showing like little teasers.
And you hit like because you want to get some work. I know it's. I see what you're doing, fucker. You hit like and go, "Hey Nick, it looks fantastic. Love you, buddy." Yeah, I see how you played the game.
Well, you know what it is? The knee pads wasn't working out. I'm doing something
I see
wrong. I'm not
Happy
good at it.
birthday, Nick. Hope it's a great year for you. I love when everybody starts wishing these people happy birthday. It's like you don't give a fuck, but you got to get in there with your happy
Well,
birthday.
The man has taken care of me, and
That's right.
I have sailed with him before when he was a cruise director, and I got some years when he was.
He was a cruise director. You worked with him
At
when he was a
Celebrity.
cruise director.
At Celebrity.
Oh,
yeah.
Celebrity. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Cool guy.
He's a big fan of yours.
Ugh. For now, who knows? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that could all change.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Everything
Mm.
dies and ends. Hey, we went to, you know where else we went? Costa Maya. When was the last time you got off the ship and went through the bullshit port and got in a cab and went into Costa Maya? Been a while.
A little over a year ago.
Really? That recent? You got in a cab and went out
But
into Costa
prior
Maya?
to that, it was pre-COVID, probably like 2018.
I remember it from years ago. Pretty nice, being kind of the beach and kind of a nice spread there with some drinks, some food.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that way anymore.
Well, it's a long strip. It's a couple of miles long, so it depends on where you go in. But I've been there, and it's when it was in its heyday. But the cruise port has changed it a little bit because they're not getting the same influx. And you remember the day when you came off the ship and you kind of went into the little local strip there, Senor Frogs and a couple of other places. And then you could take a very inexpensive taxi. Now the taxis are 3 times as much.
Well, they built up the area. I haven't been in they really built it up. I mean, they have like inside areas with, like high-end ice cream. And
it takes 15 minutes to
they
get
did a
through
good
it.
job. I mean, you could stay there, but of course you're not in Costa Maya.
You're not paying Mexican prices. You're paying
you're paying
US
ship prices or whatever, US prices. So, but we went to the beach. I forget what it's called, Mahala Beach, Muhall, something like that.
Mahala Beach.
Yeah, now it takes 25 minutes to get out of that phony port
because it's a
they
maze.
hid the exit. You can't find the exit.
Yeah, they keep moving it, so now it's even 25 minutes, and they do that on purpose so you give up. And
like the Miami airport, they just move things around all the time, so the drug dealers don't know what's what. So we get out finally, and this we felt bad. This poor couple there, family of 4. I don't know where they were from. Another country, English not very good. They didn't speak Spanish, and the cab driver is telling them it was $200 to the beach.
Pesos.
50? No, US. $50 a piece. And they're like, oh, okay. And they get in the cab. They got in the cab and drove up. And then we got in, and it was $4 each. Yeah, it was $8.
From where?
From the port to the beach.
Oh, wow. They didn't screw you over.
No. Well, they wanted to. They were selling the $20 card.
Yeah, they were
card.
I went with somebody, and I said, no, that's not this much. And he said, no, let's just
I go, going to the beach.
We paid like $10 each. Now, I've done it where I've walked one way and taken a cab back, and it was much cheaper.
Well, this was far. It was a good 10-minute drive but it's really become slummy. Like you're driving down that street, and it's like slums now. Well, and I was looking at Kelly. Kelly's looking at me like, "Where are you taking me? This is fucking shit."
There's
And
actually a
we
little
got out.
downtown area too that I haven't been there in years, but that was kind of cool.
It nothing looked really appealing. And then we
Mhm.
got off. We went onto the beach, and there's broken chairs, like lounge. They're broken. They're just broken. And the little table that's crooked in the sand, you couldn't. And the guy hands us a plastic menu, and we just looked at each other like, "What are we doing?" And she's like, "Do you want to go back to the ship? Like everything on this menu is on the ship, and why
Yeah.
are we here?" And I go, "Yep." Got in a cab, back on the ship. The whole
Well,
thing.
Did you
Maybe
buy
an hour.
anything? Did you say no? We changed our mind.
No, we didn't buy anything. we didn't buy
We said
anything.
bye.
We just got up. And
I've had a couple of
went
good
back to the
meals there, and
cab.
I've had a couple of meals there, but
You wouldn't at with the beach we were on and the setting. You would not order food. It was not a thing of I'm going to order some food. No.
they
Mm-mm.
they didn't do well after COVID.
No, they didn't.
Because like I said, I was there a little over a year ago, and it was like it was only okay.
It was sad, man. I remember going years ago.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
And it was kind of cool. It was like a little area in the Caribbean maybe people didn't know about. It was kind of fun. And now it's just slummy, and it was, maybe there's a better area, maybe there's a better part of it, but where we were, and we were back in an hour, less than an hour, and up on the deck and having drinks and eating Mexican food on the ship. So it all worked out. And we had this drink package. I don't know if you've ever had a drink package. That is, I mean, I can't afford to do it every week, but that is the way to go. I'll tell you. Just free drinks, free coffee, free smoothies.
There's
whatever.
different tiers, right? Which one did you guys end up getting?
We had the full drink package.
How much was that? How much was it for the week?
For two, it was like I think $1,100 for two.
It really was a free cruise.
But it was good.
No, I mean,
it was nice.
You did the cruise. You performed for free.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's
all right.
fine.
You got to do that once in a while.
Once in a while, why not? I would wish you could do it more. I'm going to Europe in June. I was like, "Come with me, let's do that." But she can't. She doesn't want to leave the dog and all that, But she can't anyway. She's what do you call it? Working. Oh, that's it. Working. Yes. She
has a gig, a land gig.
She has a gig.
I will say that, like when Bernie and I went, we did our 2 weeks on a cruise. We did 5 days in Rome, as you know the whole story. And I got us basically upgraded to business class. So the first cruise was kind of almost a break-even situation. As a matter of fact, it barely was break-even because we had a hotel for 4 nights, and then the cruise line paid for 1 night.
Yeah. And then yesterday she got to see how, I took her, we went to the airport, got a rental. She drove the rental, dropped me off at Little Havana. Then she drove home and saw the drive, the whole thing. She got to see a little day in the life of
AR. She drove home from what port?
Miami.
Oh, so it took her 3.5, 4 hours?
Yeah, 4.5.
So now she knows what you go through.
Yeah, so it's always like when it's not as easy as it looks, that whole. Sometimes it is, but sometimes you drop the car, pick up a car, go to the airport, and drive. It's involved. But by the way, I was at Little Havana yesterday. Shout out to Top Cigars, that place.
Yeah,
that guy hooks me up, man. That is the shit.
You're a semi-regular.
I am. I walk in. It's like my third time. He goes, "Welcome home." I was like, "Thanks, man."
How do you get there? How do you get there, though?
Practice. That's an old joke from how do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice. What do you mean, how do you get there?
Dude, you and I were born in different decades. I don't get it, but continue.
Kelly says that to me too, because I like certain music. She's like, "What? Where are you from? What is this?"
You have an old soul. You skew about 10 years older than your age. So go ahead. You do.
That's great. That's great for comedy in 2024.
No, your references. That's all.
My references are.
Every once in a while, I meet some young dude like in
all
college.
The young dudes.
Why are you meeting young dudes? And all of a sudden, he knows this category of movies that were made 30 years before he was.
Yeah, it's called well-rounded. It's called intelligent. Being,
Well, let's not get carried away. We're talking about you right now.
All right. Well, anyway, I went to Top Cigars. Shout out. I told the guy about our podcast, so he might be listening. Top Cigars. Shout out. Little Havana, and so they have I did the buy 5 Cuban seed, Cuban rolled cigars. Receive now 5 for free. 10 cigars for the price of 5. That's where I'm at Top Cigars.
Wow.
Pretty good. Yeah.
That is now, but you took an Uber there and back, correct?
Well, Kelly dropped me off,
and
then she drove, and then I Ubered home. Ubered to the port. It was about $18 to the ship,
which used to be 12. How come Uber is so high now?
Uber's I do Lyft, by the way. Uber would have been $32 yesterday.
I have both.
Lyft was 18.
Yeah, I pulled them both up and then I calculate.
I don't understand though. Why they're the same drivers? I don't. Why is there such a price difference with Uber?
I don't know. It's
Lyft?
weird because Uber is the dominator. They're like 4 times, 5 times bigger than Lyft.
Yeah, they're dominatrix. But anyway, the place is like, I'm telling you, this place. I hope he's not listening, but it's a shithole place. But has great cigars at great prices.
Well, you can afford,
and
you can get the discount because you're not paying for the big, brand new leather chairs with the
his uncle owns it. He's a Cuban guy, and he's got like these cases you open. They're on the floor. These like old trunks, and he'll be like, "Hey, you want some rum?" And I'm like, "No, I'm all right." He goes, "I got rum," and he opens up a trunk. He's got bottles of rum in there.
Rum runner.
Pours a glass. Like,
there's no documentation on it. There's no paperwork trail on that.
No.
That comes right from Cuba.
I don't think this paper. I don't think this.
That comes out. It comes on a fishing boat from Cuba.
There's nothing.
And he gives a bottle to the Coast Guard. A couple of bottles, to the Coast Guard. A couple of bottles to the guy at the pier.
Yeah, it's the Cuba Libre rum.
Good stuff.
Pretty good. And then I went to a breakfast place because Kelly took off, and then I went to a breakfast place. And on the menu, it says traditional Cuban breakfast. That's all it says. It doesn't have like a script. So I go, all right, I'll have a Cuban breakfast and I'll do some Cuban coffee. And the Cuban coffee was like the espresso shot. Like 5 espressos.
Yeah, your buddy Al is quite familiar with those. Yeah. Woo!
Takeoff. That was fucking
it's like Turkish. Fuel. Yeah, Cuban and Turkish coffee is like.
I was in a Turkish bathhouse, for fuck's sake. I was being blown by a old bald man from Chicago. But so the breakfast is, traditional Cuban breakfast. What's your take a guess what you think I was coming on that plate? Excuse me.
Was it chicken or beef or pork?
Pork.
Okay, so was it a chop? Or
a chop? Yes.
Yeah, it was a chop. I've had this over at the in Miami at the marketplace there. There's a Cuban
Bayside. Is that Bayside?
Bayside Cuban breakfast place, and I'm the only
gringo.
I'm the only gringo. I'm the only gringo of my age.
You had a stroke just now.
I had a little stroke. Hey.
A little stroke. I think that was a big stroke. I was the only one there. I had. Yeah. So what?
Are you done?
Tell me what you think the breakfast was that I had for the traditional. What was on my plate?
There's like a root for their starch. I forget what it is.
Jesus, dude. What just say called? Eggs or fucking steak.
Well, it has huevos.
There was a root.
What is the root called?
I don't know. I don't know what you're. I don't
Pork
know what
chop.
you're talking
All right,
about.
explain it to me. Explain to the listeners.
It was a breakfast. It was eggs with ham, eggs and ham mixed together, and French fries. Oh. That was the traditional Cuban breakfast.
I thought I thought I had the potato of a root.
I wanted to call bullshit a little bit. I didn't find it. I don't know if that's true.
French fries isn't actually.
It was very good.
French fries, French or American? That's the question.
I remember freedom fries after 9/11.
Yeah, remember those?
We're not calling them French, we're calling them freedom fries because the French
would not allow our planes to fly over
The French stink.
Airspace.
They literally stink. That's why they invented cologne, because they smell. They had to cover it up. That's a fact. You can Google it if you want.
I'm
Check it
of
out.
French descent. I'm well aware of my history. I use
That's true.
I
Ducharme
have
is a French word. What does it mean?
of charm.
Thank you.
I have deodorant on.
You wear deodorant during the day? What's interesting?
Well, deodorant now has more aluminum in it than ever. So I have those 48-hour, 72-hour deodorants. So after I haven't showered yet. So what I'll do is I'll go exercise and then I'll shower and then I'll reapply. But yeah, it stays under your arms for 72 hours.
I use the Jason, I think it's called Jason's deodorant. No
what?
aluminum. No aluminum.
Yeah. Is it?
$14. No, I don't know what it is, but
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
pricey.
But what does it work? Does it?
It works.
Is it antiperspirant and deodorant combo?
I don't know, Martha Stewart. I'm just saying I buy fucking deodorant without
Because
aluminum.
I've purchased a few in the past that had no aluminum in it, and I smell like perfume and BO combo.
Oh no, just regular old. It seems like it works, and
What's the
no
ingredient?
extra smell. What's that?
What's the ingredient that keeps the antiperspirant thing happening?
I wouldn't know.
What's the chemical
ingredient in the?
Well, you're bragging about it. No aluminum. No, what's it got in it? I don't know. Some
That's
fucking
bragging?
nuclear powered
That was
fucking
bragging?
shit. Some fucking shit that they used in a fucking nuclear sub. They got rid of it. And now they make deodorant.
Wow. Clip.
Got it, clip.
You're the only guy in the world I could go, hey, I have deodorant that doesn't have aluminum. What's the ingredient?
Well, because
I'd like to know the ingredient in that
it's
deodorant.
important to me.
It's important
As
to you.
silly and as dumb as this podcast is, there's little tidbits of learning and
Yes.
from wisdom. I want to hear the tips. We share tips. So
All right. You want me to go grab it?
Yeah, go grab it. Go grab it.
All right. I'm going to go grab it. Be right back.
Now, while Al's going to grab it, I'm going to be a gentleman and pause and not say anything disparaging about him. Kelly, if you're listening, you know that he wears your clothes when you're not home, and he likes I think it's Polynesian or Filipino boys. He likes them a lot. And
get my phones back in. I need to get some.
You need an act. Yeah, you need something.
These things do not fit my.
Oh, welcome back. I was just sitting
welcome
here, not
back.
saying a word. I wasn't saying
sure.
a word, waiting for you to return.
I'll have to tune in and find out what the hell you did while I was gone. So this is, if you're on the Patreon, here you go.
It's like Jason Bourne.
Jesus Christ. That's Jason Bourne.
Tea tree. Oh, it's tea tree oil. Deodorant, purifying tea tree oil. Now tell me the ingredient. It doesn't say antiperspirant on it. It says.
And this is where we lose any listeners that we had, but here we go.
Tell me what it is.
We got
tea tree. I like tea tree.
Propanendiol.
What?
Propanendiol, glycerin, water, sodium, zinc, and citrus, and a bunch of stuff to that. So
that's $10.
But this our deodorant is infused with skin conditioner, glides on smoothly while helping to fight odor. The invigorating tea tree fragrance gives you the confidence to take on the day.
There's no antiperspirant in it because there's no.
Shout out Jason, and no animal testing, no baking soda.
I'm gonna try that out on my dog.
There you go.
I'm gonna try it on Teddy.
Teddy was alone, not alone. We flew Kelly's friend from Michigan.
Oh my God!
Teddy.
This cost you 2 cruises.
This trip did cost me a lot of money.
Someone to watch your fucking dog.
Well, I didn't, to be honest, but yes, we did. What are you supposed to do with the dog? What are we going to do?
We would spend with Buddy, who's no longer with us. We would go to Sam's Green Paw in Studio City, which basically was a rich people's place. They kept their dog, and they had an open space. Upstairs was for small dogs, downstairs for medium and large. It was ridiculously expensive, and as the years went on, it got more and more expensive. And there was a point where if Bernie and I went to go do a land gig together somewhere, I was like, you're not getting paid.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Teddy doesn't go to those such places. Teddy stays home and has someone to attend to his needs.
Cater to his needs. Yeah.
So but it was good. She got to see her old friend for a night, and then she went home yesterday, and the friend is staying for a couple of days too, so they get to run around a little bit together. And she did a great job with Teddy. So what can you do? You can't pay for that kind of comfort and security, Alfred. You really can't.
We've had people stay and watch Buddy as well, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Did you fly them in from other states though?
We
That seems
definitely hooked them up financially.
Got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if it's going to be, she's not going to go, or you're going to go, but we got to fly a friend in. Fuck it, fly a friend in.
I've also had neighbors. Right. My neighbor had a dog, so when they were out of town, we did like a bantering dog sitting thing. We did that too.
Yeah. Remember we were in Vegas and we just got Teddy, and our neighbor was going to watch Teddy, and we landed in Vegas, and the neighbor's brother passed away and had to go, and she was like, "I have to leave," so Teddy's going to be. And Kelly was going to get on the plane and go back to Florida. She was like, "I'll go back." Like, wait a second, calm down. We can. And Jim from one of our episodes of the Two Dicks, Jim Sansom, was nice enough to watch Teddy with his wife Kim, and that was a great.
And they don't speak to you
any
longer because Teddy's a problem.
No, they haven't really spoken to us. No, actually, their dog. They got a. Either a cockapoo or a golden doodle. They loved having Teddy. They loved having Teddy there, and
why
when their dog passed.
Why cock poo
or a spaniel?
Yeah, a cockapoo.
A cocker spaniel have sex with a poodle. When we were kids, those were mutts. Mm-hmm. Now they're $8,000. Right. I don't know what happened. We missed a meeting. Mm-hmm. Things happen. Things changed, buddy. Things changed. You know what I mean?
Well, they don't
so what do you got tonight?
They don't shed.
What do you got tonight? Show-wise,
they don't shed.
It's huge. Yeah. Hypo, whatever it is. Yep. Hypoglycemic.
No,
they are whatever the fuck.
Sure, that's why they're very.
It's a big deal. Right, it's a big deal.
Well, and also, it's not your fur is not flying all over your Buddy's fur. There was the vacuum. We had 2 vacuums. Let's put it that way.
Understand? And
they would play tag team. One vacuum would come in and go, "You got to take over, dude. I'm fucking wiped." High five.
Yeah. But I think I've said this before. I would take a suit to the dry cleaner, bring it home, have it in the closet, and then when I needed it, take it off and open the plastic and all that shit and dog hair.
Yeah, because it's embedded, it won't come out. Or it's a magnetic thing when the door is open and closing. If you don't, I take the plastic. They say you take the plastic off, actually. I take the plastic off, and I'm sure enough.
I leave the plastic on.
Yeah, they said that's bad because
why? For what?
I'm going to explain it. You know what? We don't have time for it in this episode.
So. Well, I'm a little wired. I've had a lot of coffee and cold medicine, so I'm a little wired.
Are we going to talk about your shows off the record or on the record last night?
My shows on. What do you mean? They were good. Good shows last night.
How are you? Did you? I told you to tell the other comic you're going first because you're going to go to bed because you're not feeling well. But I know you. You didn't tell them that you were under the weather, did you? Be honest.
I did tell them I was under the weather. I stayed out of the green room, and I went second, and they were great crowds.
Why didn't you go first?
Because the guy filling in for Paul this week wanted to close, and then I don't know. By the time it just worked out, Simeon was going to open. I was going to middle. This guy was going to close. So that was fine. The show's only 15 minutes, so show started at 8:30. I went on at 8:45. I was off.
But you had to follow the stage destroyer, Simeon.
Yeah, but they were good crowds, and luckily, thank God for adrenaline. You know that adrenaline kicks in, and your cold goes away for 15 minutes. It's amazing.
No, it's actually a little longer because it's kicking in about 5 minutes before, and then 5 minutes after. So you're getting like 25 minutes of like I'm back to normal.
Completely.
And then you sit down and you go, ooh.
I got back to the room and
I got another one.
It fell apart. Everything just fell apart. I don't think I can do another one. But tonight we have 3. So,
And where are you? If last night you were at 40%, are you at 60 now?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. Well, again, I think it's masked with the cold meds and the coffee and the, orange juice, whatever. So I think I'm a little masking it, right? I feel pretty good. I sound nasally, but I feel pretty good. But I think, and also I napped after waking up early, so we'll see what happens. What can you do? I mean, that's part of the gig out here. You get sick and you just go. All right. At least it's not headlining 50 minutes. That would be might be a problem.
Yeah.
But these little quick shows, you get in, get out, no big deal.
Question. This is a 3-day cruise. I don't care. I have plenty to cover. But in our letter, it says same show, same material, because we did 5 for 6,400 passengers. We did 5 shows with 125 people per show?
At least, yeah.
140 per, what does that room seat?
I don't know. I think in my head I want to say 145, but I could be wrong. But around there.
We had all but one show was completely packed. Last night it was probably half a dozen seats.
Mm.
So 140 times 5.
Yeah.
Right? That's 500.
700.
700. 6,400 passengers. How many are coming to the show that have seen our show?
Have you been saying it at the end of the show? Come see us in the theater. Have you either of you said that?
No, because it's a 3-day cruise, and the letter says do the same material.
And what time's the show tonight?
8:30 and 10:15.
2 shows in the theater?
Yeah.
Oh.
3-day cruise.
Well, here's the thing.
Last night, by the way, our third show at 11:30, Quest, and then there was something going on in the theater. We were up against 2 other shows. There were lines waiting to get into those shows. So all the people that, we can't get in. Oh, fuck it. Let's go to the comedy show. We already had that attitude when they came in and they were drunk and just, that was our worst show so far.
It's no good.
The other ones have been stellar.
Yeah. It's not great. I've done that. We did last week the same thing, and then Quest ended, and then people come in from the Quest while I'm on stage, and they're hammered, and
their energy is somewhere else.
The thing with that theater thing, it's tough because the theater show was supposed to be for the people who didn't get into the comedy club.
Right.
That was the point of it. Right. The last night, you can get in all week. They're doing it in the theater, but if the people liked you guys, they come back to the theater.
Yeah. And
how can you do the same set in front of an audience full of people?
I agree. So you
got to go.
I'm only doing 20 minutes. Now, 1 or 2 shows, I threw in a couple of bits that I might do in the theater, but that was it. I was kind of like running them a little bit just to get some barnacles off of them.
Yeah. Those are fucking deep barnacles doing those bits. Holy shit. They go back a few years. I'm just saying. Those barnacles. You need the Filipinos in the blue.
Why do I set you up like that? Why do I give you right over the middle of the plate? You're just like, oh, here he goes. Look at this. He's throwing like a girl.
You're going to hear that sound all night. A lot of scraping going on the old Ducharme act. That's the thing though. I had this conversation, speaking of Nick and the people, because I said I don't understand. What are we doing? At the last night, we're not supposed to advertise it, but we're in the theater, and the people who come have seen us before, but you're telling us to do the same act. We're going to go up there and bomb.
It's confusing.
You can't do it. You got to do a new act. So it really shouldn't even exist. It should be just club shows.
Yeah. On the last ship I did, the cruise director was there, and he said, "Are you guys doing the same?" The other act asked about it, and he asked me. I said, "No, I'm doing a whole different set." He goes, "Oh," he goes, "Thank you." He goes, "You don't have to, but it's just refreshing, because there are going to be people
have to, even though they say don't. You do.
Well, why is it in the letter? I think that's because of all the new people coming in that are like freaking out.
I'm telling, it's very confusing.
New performers is what I'm trying to say. There's new comedians.
Right.
There's a whole lot of comedians that are coming in for the first time, and they're like, "Whoa, what's going on?" So they're taking pressure off of them, and some of their comedians that are getting high ratings can't do the second show. They got their killer 20 minutes, and they don't want to deviate from it. They're doing their material, and they don't want to change.
I haven't seen anyone who just can't do more than 20, but I know what you're saying.
I'm guessing,
but I just don't. Yeah, I just don't understand it, and it needs to be cleared up. But I've gone over it a bunch of times when we do see these executives out here, and they don't really know. They don't really have an answer because I get it on paper. It makes sense. Oh, the theater for all the people who didn't see you.
Yeah. You know what it is? It's a numbers thing. The people that are doing the numbers have no connection to the front lines. It's like the people doing the fucking war room in Washington, the fucking board, and then the fucking commanders are out there going, "We can't do that.
Right.
The bridge is blowing out. We got to go upstream." You know, say
departments don't talk to each other. Same as CIA doesn't talk to the FBI, doesn't talk to the blah blah blah. They don't either. But I would just say, and I've told, and I could be wrong, but I always tell it when they ask me comics to go do a new set in the theater. Until they tell me do not do a new set, I'm always going to do a new set because the people who haven't seen you, it's new, and the people who've seen you, it's new. There's no loss there. You know what I mean? Whereas if you walk out there doing a set you've done in the club,
you and I are well-oiled machines at this juncture, and
I know. Because of Jason's antiperspirant,
our new sponsor. And if
there
you'd
you
like
go,
to get
Jason,
on,
shout out.
if you'd like to get 10%, mention 2 Owls, 1 Pod, and you'll be surrounded by the police.
Clip it. All right.
All right. We got to wrap things up.
One plug. March 9th, which is approaching quickly. I'll be at the fucking Stage West Playhouse in Spring Hill. So let's get you tickets.
That's the Rainbow
there.
Room, right? The gay club. They have.
Yes, it's the gay club.
No. Right?
It's very gay. Spring Hill people.
It's great that you're supporting.
I'm not supporting. I'm participating. I'm going full. Full out there for the Stage West.
Yeah. When you get to Stage West,
Spring Hill,
go around the back. Enter through the back.
That's where I enter. Always the back with the Playhouse. Yeah, but I'll be there March 9th. And
so mature.
You were just there. You were just in around my hood. You were in Tampa. You overnighted.
I did, and I told the cruise line I don't want to spend 6-7 hours going from Tampa to Orlando because there's no direct flight.
Ducharme makes demands. I told the cruise line, listen, fuckers, I don't do this. And they said, okay, Al, whatever you like.
First of all, every time I'm in a situation, you go as my coach, you tell them you're not doing it. He says this stuff all the time to me. I go, what do you mean? You can't talk that way. He goes, no, that's what I tell them. I tell them, no, that's it. Wendy, call me when you get this straightened out.
That's right. That's right. I'm in my massage for the next hour. No fucking calls.
And if I want to smoke my cigar inside my cabin, I'll do it.
Goddamn right. Goddamn right. Yeah. Yeah. Like Rodney said, when you're a draw, you can fuck the chairman's daughter. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. So anyways, so I said, I'm going to rent a car when I get off the ship and I'm going to drive. It's 2 hours and 10 minutes. They said, we have to get approval. We have to get approval. We have to get approval. Laura says this.
Did you have to send Laura the car you found?
I'm like, Laura,
did you have to send her the car in the picture?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I said, Laura, they're going to have to fly me one way to Orlando last minute because this was I'm covering for somebody. It was urgent.
$800 flight.
And it's going to take me, and it's going to take me 5 to 6 hours. I can fly to Fort Lauderdale and rent a car there and drive up. Or I can, so I said, listen, I'll go online.
You listen here.
No cars available. No car rentals available in Tampa on the day I'm getting off the ship. None. Zero. So I go to the next morning. There's one available. So I said, put me up in Tampa overnight and then I'll drive across. So that night, you're like, go to Charlie's. It's a mile away.
Why am I I'm not an old drunk. I don't know why they sound like that. Go to Charlie's. It's a mile. I go, you should go to Charlie's. Have a nice dinner.
Yeah, you said get the 22 ounce. I go, I can't eat 22 ounces of steak by myself, and I can't take half of it home. I'm on the road.
Share it with your husband. Let him have.
Yeah, that's what he said to me. Is your husband home? Can you share? I'm like, I'm on the road. Yeah. I'm not buying. By the way, it was $85.
I'm on the road.
No, the one you said was $95 for the steak. plus
Goddamn
drinks,
right, delicious.
plus
Yeah.
cream spinach, and because that's what I usually get, and dessert. I'm like, this is
That's
nuts.
your
And then
side. Cream spinach
so
is your
I
side.
did a test run walk, and I go behind my hotel to do the shortest distance. It's at 1.4 miles. And all of a sudden, no sidewalks, broad daylight, speed limit's 35, everybody's doing 50. Wow, wow. And they're going, bah, bah, they're tooting at me, and I'm jumping out of the way. I'm like, I'm not doing this at night with drinking.
No.
No.
Okay.
So on my way back, I pass a Ruth Chris. It's 12
Right.
minutes from my hotel,
Hell yeah.
sidewalk straight. I go, I'm going here.
Mm-hmm.
I walk down. The steaks are $20, $30 cheaper.
Then Charlie's, get out of
Yes,
here. They're not.
and
They're
listen,
not.
you listen
They're
to
not.
me. There's dry
They're not.
aged. No, there's dry aged, which are very expensive and very delicious, and then there's good steaks that are
Mhm.
cheaper because
Yeah.
they're not dry aged. It takes.
You went to Burger King and had a fucking box of wine in the parking lot. Get out of here. Get out of here with your dried
Can I
steaks.
finish my little story? Can I finish my little story?
Uh-huh.
So next to Ruth Chris is Longhorn Steakhouse. So I go, let me go.
We're going down each one.
I know. So I go to Ruth Chris. I check out they got the regular menu without the fancy steaks, and they got a special. It says Ruth Chris Classic.
El Ducharme special.
And it's a steak, a choice of cream spinach or potato, and dessert. $59.
Uh-huh.
I go,
That's great.
This is me. So I go to Longhorn, $31.50.
You can't spend
like
$59 at Longhorn. It's impossible.
It was $31.50.
You could buy the fucking joint for $59.
I just wanted to do it because I was
Holy
walking by. I wanted to get an idea. So I said, all right, I'm right in the middle.
Oh, you get an idea, all right.
So I walk in and I order. He goes, can I help you? I go, yeah, I'd like to get, it's a smoked old fashioned. So that's what I want. So I go, hey, I want to get that old fashioned. He goes, so he starts upselling me. Hey, do you want some of this bourbon right here? It's really good. It's much smoother. I go, no. I go, no. I go, just give me the one you would normally use.
Woodford. The Woodford.
In the regular one. He goes, okay.
That's right.
He goes,
That's
okay.
right, fuck boy.
So
I want Woodford in my regular.
Yeah, because it's like $7 more for that one.
Sure. Yeah.
So I go, no, I go, here's where I made my mistake. I said, no, just give me the regular one you make with meaning the smoked one that's on the menu. It's $17.
Right.
He makes me a regular one for $15, and it's okay.
Yeah.
And I took a couple of sips of it. And I'm like, I brought the menu.
You want that
back up.
smoky
I'm like,
deliciousness.
Motherfucker, he fucked me.
Yeah. Did you sit the bar?
I did.
Nice.
90% of the time.
Were you ever in
that? I go to the bar.
Were you ever in that Ruth's Chris before they changed everything? The bar used to be different. Were you ever in there?
No, it was pretty swanky though. I liked it.
Yeah, they made it. It's nice. The bar used to be really a long, long bar. And then in the front, they had an area where you could, like a small, almost a tiny little bar with 5 seats, but you could have cigars and after dinner drinks. Yeah, back in the day.
It's gone, man.
That's all gone.
They did have 2 private rooms and they were packed.
Yeah.
They said they had a party of 32 and a party of 27 at the other one. So they were already killing. And I'll tell you what, I got there at like 7:15, 7:30.
Yeah.
And it was packed. And
then
halfway through my meal, all of a sudden, all the older people, they were out.
Right.
And happy hour is 4 to 6. So I missed the happy hour. Too. But they were like all hammered. And they're all driving a mile to get home.
Hell yeah.
Hammered.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I tell you, I had the petite filet with the 3
5 ounces.
Shrimp.
What is that? Was it 4 ounces?
Yeah, 4 ounces with the 3 jumbo shrimp on top. But it was perfect for me. I'm a little guy.
Right.
You can put it away.
I can't put it away. I can't put it away anymore.
I know.
But you know it's weird. You know,
your family.
Paul Ogata is like a little guy.
Yeah.
And I went to Chops, the steakhouse on the ship, with him. And he had the 28 ounce or 32 ounce bone in, clean that sucker like a fucking dog. Ate that bone. He was still eating the bone when we left.
Did he not eat all day?
He can put it away, man. He's one of those people. Just,
I was afraid of eating deceiving. The 22 ounce. What I'm saying is, it was the perfect portion for me. Yeah. I had my drink.
Yeah.
And then I ordered a Malbec to have with my steak and shrimp. And then I had the cream spinach, and they brought out some cheesecake and a little thing of fruit. And it was
What about a bottle of
oh, dude, I
Oberon
would
Cabernet?
I would drink half of that right now.
I might. If I felt better, well, my day off is Tuesday, and that's my plan. My plan on Tuesday is, a couple of big sticks and a bottle or two of that Cabernet Sauvignon.
Now,
We'll
Dan
see. I'm
and
sorry?
Dan Greeter and I have Nassau off, which is
It's not great.
no, it's not great.
Although, there's a
this is Coco K Nassau.
Nassau. I don't. You probably know this, but if you come out of the terminal in Nassau, make a left, then your first right. There's a little divey bar. I don't know the name of it. They have some food, but they will let you smoke cigars in the bar.
That used to, you see some crew
while you
in
order
there,
a
too.
cocktail.
They cater to the crew a little bit there, or they did. Your internet
Yeah, well,
connection
I was with.
is unstable. All right, just came
I'm
back
unstable. You're unstable.
Yeah.
They were. I was at the bar with someone. I can't remember who. I don't know. And we were talking about cigars, and I go, well, I'd love to. And the guy at the bartender goes, "You can smoke cigars right here." Look,
That is awesome.
Zoinks, really? Indoors in a bar?
Greeter's not a cigar fan.
Gay, whatever.
So
you tell him I said he's a homo. I want that message delivered.
All right.
Got it?
Got it.
He had another joke I like too. I just thought of while we were talking, where he said his wife was a nurse, I believe. Am I correct on that? Isn't that amazing? I saw this guy 20 years ago, and I can remember. He remembered jokes, and he said his wife would come to his shows, and but he never went to her job. And she said, "How come you never come to my job? I always go to your job." And he goes, "Because my job is fun. Your job smells like hot dog water." Which I love. That thing sat in my brain for 20 years.
That's hysterical. I got to tell him that to make sure he does it now.
Yeah.
He says
it's in my head.
He goes, I'm in an interracial marriage. And he goes, ooh. Some people go, yay. Some people go, I go, oh wow. He does something off the cuff there, and he goes, yeah, she's Canadian.
Right.
He lets it sit.
Yeah, he's good.
He lets it sit, and there's a roll of laughter.
Yeah. He's a good comic. He's been funny I'm glad he's, out there working. He's one of those guys that, like I said, if you remember a guy from the road's jokes 20 years, 25 years
then
later.
He's
pretty
a good
good.
hang. He's a good hang too. He's funny.
Yeah. Well, tell him to fucking light up a cigar and become a man. All right.
I'll let him.
All right. All right. Let him know.
He says,
all right, Alfred, my notes I've gone through my notes. I'm sure you've looked over your notes and covered everything you wanted to cover.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about my steak that you rudely interrupted several times. You made me fucking stammer.
I brought
and
it up.
stutter.
You weren't even going to tell us. You were ready to wrap up the pod. I go, hey, you were in Tampa. How about a little Tampa thing? And then you were like, oh, yeah, it's steak. You weren't bringing it up. Come on, man. Come on. It was in my notes.
Adios.
Peace.
So long, man. Have a good trip.
you.
Iceberg, dead ahead. Don't forget to review us and rate us. It really helps.
The Talking Dicks became friends at a very young age, and the rest is history.
I'm losing my mind.
Patreon.com/The2Dicks, which is named after our web series. This is the 2 Al's 1 Pod podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
What? Done.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
We'll fix it in post, you son of a bitch.
Okay, sure.
All right. Subscribe. Mary. This was a horrible mistake.
Go to patreon.com/forwardthe2dicks.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money. Why?
I think it ends on that. That's beautiful.